recorded on November 7th, 2012 in front of a live internet audience. This week's Design Chat is brought to you by the Friends of Type online store. On Tuesday, November 13th, go to shop.friendsoftype.com to get the best hand-lettered swag you've ever seen. Also, stay tuned after the credits to hear Erik and Jessica talk like robots. Hello and welcome to Design Chat, the best janky live design discussion on the internet. I'm your host, Ryan McGovern. On Twitter, I'm at Boobajoob and at Design Chat. Every once in a while, we get together with some of the coolest janky Tecate type people in the design community and we chat. Or we phone call each other because Adobe Flash Player sucks and we can't do our own audio. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. We are talking to Mr. Erik Marinovich from San Francisco, California. Bravo. I would golf clap, but I'm holding a phone.
I know. I'm from the future.
Hello, and welcome to Technology Chat, where we call each other. Cool. So, all right. So now that we're actually talking, for people who might not be familiar with you and or your work, give a brief history about who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Okay. So you got my name pretty good.
Pretty good.
I'm Erik Marinovich. I'm a lettering artist, designer here in San Francisco. I pretty much just do lettering, which is a really great niche. Yeah, I'm losing my train of thought already because it's so late and I've had so many to copy it. Yes, I'm a lettering artist here and it's phenomenal. Next question.
Next question. Fuck yes. Yeah, at one point we were joking about just having him do yes or no questions where he could answer fuck yes and fuck no via paper. Or Jessica Hische in the background was also suggesting that Erik write out letter all of his answers. Good pointing skills, by the way. Usually it's backwards and it's hard to figure that shit out. Ta-da!
Okay.
It kind of looks like you're flexing.
Oh, that's what I do all the time. I think I won over my wife. I'm just like, hey.
Check out the gun show, wife.
Yeah. Oh, there's not. It's computer muscle now.
We'll Photoshop it later. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, all right. Letterer, you really focus on lettering. You get hired to do so. I really think lettering is the crack of the internet. It's so wonderful. Like here's why. Lettering is the crack of the internet, and it gets so popular because people know how freaking hard it is, right? It's one of those things where, like, if you're trying to draw a person, you're trying to draw a face, anyone who looks at that, even though, they have no technical ability or they've never been trained, they can tell you if the face looks right or not. It's the same way with lettering, right? They can tell you if something is off or not. Everyone's a critic with lettering.
Yeah, and I feel like there's one part black magic that goes into lettering, because so much of it is the constant repetition of practicing to the point where you can train your eye to see those areas within a lettering composition that are just slightly off, and just with the mildest of tweaks here and there on curves or thicknesses and thins, that by fine-tuning your eye to make sure you point out those areas, it can totally resolve the composition and make it great. But it isn't until all that practice that you really can see something and immediately notify what's wrong with this. And again, it's like the most subtle tweaks, and all of a sudden it's it's done. It's great. But I don't know how many hours I've invested into just I'm still investing that time. Every time I think I've done something good, I relook at it the next day and I'm like, oh God, this is awful.
And that's the thing, though. Practice is invisible. When somebody looks at you, they can't tell whether or not, you've spent the last, 18 months of your life practicing, how to get the perfect E, right? They can only see it when you're actually producing artwork. So my question to you is, how do you actually know when you're done?
Oh man, it's a good question. I've been asked that quite a bit, especially in this last week. I would say 3 years ago, I never really knew when I was done, but then once it started getting more paid projects and the client has attached a hard deadline, then I pretty much know it's done 5 minutes before I'm emailing it to them. But if I'm doing a personal post, say for Friends of Type, which I co-run with Erik Marinovich, Jason Wong, and Dennis Pyongyang, I really can spend as much time as I want to, and it's a great outlet for trying those experimental things that maybe you can't get away with clients all the time. So having that, again, as an outlet is really great, and I do find myself really putting in a lot of time on a post when, honestly, it's just, I spend 3 days on it, and then it's it. I don't get paid for it, but it's practice. It's the same as going in a sketchbook forever,
So your last answer just held a whole lot of badassness that we need to address. You mentioned that the co-hosting, the co-founding. It was the Tecate. That's really what tipped the scales there. Friends of Type, really sort of this great collaboration. I'm sure a lot of people who listen to the show are familiar with the website, friendsoftype.com, and or the Twitter handle, and or Spaceballs the Flamethrower. Friends of Type, how did it happen? Why is it so awesome?
Why is it so awesome? Because it was a project that was totally started. It was an innocent side project that Erik Marinovich and myself conjured up in the middle of the night. It was about a year after I left Brooklyn. I lived there for about 5 years, and then moved to LA, and then moved up to San Francisco. And it was a hard time for me because I was transitioning away from all of my great friends, like my best friends that are in New York, coming out to the West Coast. I'm from here, but everyone I knew growing up as a kid kind of is just doing different things, so it was the most lonely experience. And I had a horrible client meeting, drew something on a sketch pad, sent it over to Aaron via iChat. I should donate to AOL just because iChat has been the most amazing service, and it's helped me through, working as a freelancer by myself, just having that flexibility to send over designs and get it critiqued by your best friend. Anyways, I sent this lettering image to Aaron. He goes, "This is awesome, you should post it." So of course, naturally my response is, "Where?" He's like, "Let's make something." So within 8 hours, Friends of Type, the name, we came up with the name, we came up with the identity. Aaron is just a magician, a badass, and deserves so much credit because he went in, developed a custom theme on WordPress, and we knew that we needed a lot of content out of the gate, so we just took everything that him and I had and posted it online, and within, the next day, for whatever reason, timing is everything, and it just happened, and we're like, oh shit, more than our moms are looking at it as well as other people, so maybe we should invest time and see where this can take us. And again, it really was a project started to be close with my friends that I moved away with, because when we all worked together, like Aaron, Jason, and I, we all had this deep passion for type and lettering, so we would sit next to each other and would draw on a pad and then pass it along, and it just it grew out of that love.
In your About page, there's a line that really stuck with me. It says, "This is a sketchbook, an archive, a dialogue. The posts are sketches and ideas on visualized language."
Yeah, your audio cut out. Were you done?
There was a weird feedback, so I kind of stopped. What I was going to say about that is that I really like the thought of, there's a lightness, there's an airiness to the idea of it being an archive, a sketchbook, a dialogue. Whereas, I know that when I've had the thought, oh man, I just did something interesting. I'm getting a lot of feedback, sorry. I just did something interesting, I need to post it. There's a pause. There's always a pause. Like, how do I post this? Where do I post this? What is it going to be? What does it all mean? But if you kind of lift that off of yourself, you lift off that restriction, it's okay if I don't think this is going to be permanently recorded in the, the annals of history. just put it out there, and it sort of lifts the weight off your shoulders and allows you to be a little bit more free. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, I think all of us. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
In the beginning, like Aaron, Jason, and Dennis and I think we kind of threw that idea out of I don't know. We got over the fact that this stuff that we're producing is going to just live in the internet forever. And so we kind of like masked ourselves for the first year as just like this, like a secret society. Like it was friends of type, but no one knew really who was running it because we didn't have an about. We had an about page, but it was just like pretty cryptic. So I think we did that originally just to be like, we're gonna produce all this stuff. Not produce all this stuff, but we wanted to produce all this stuff, but if it was really bad, we didn't necessarily wanted our names attached to it forever. But then it got to the point as the more that we kept posting and the more practice we got and the better that we got at just being confident in what lettering skills that we could execute, then we really started, our personality starting coming out more in the actual site. And again, we then put up an about page that had a little bit more about it, but for the longest time, people thought Friends of Type was just like a found. It was just an aggregator of type where it was all. I mean, Friends of Type is all original content that we tried to deliver at the time 2 posts a day. Now we're kind of probably I think 2 posts a week just because of our schedule. So yeah, does that answer your question?
No, start over. So Brooklyn is getting this wonderful reputation, for wonderful culture, art, loved hat, a new basketball team. A lot. There's a lot of great artisans who reside in Brooklyn, and sort of the sort of brand of Brooklyn has been redefined. Why did you flee? What was there a bounty on your head? What made you move? And are you happy about it?
You're good at asking these questions. Have you done this before, Ryan?
No.
Ding, ding, ding. Sorry. That was a lie. Actually, I've done it 115 times. I won't lie again. Sorry.
Yes, there was a bounty on my head. There's a character, Boba Fett. He's an intergalactic marshal.
First Star Wars reference of the night, 9:03 p.m. Congratulations.
Yeah. No, my wife and I are slightly nomadic, and it's because we constantly kind of like ask ourselves, is there anything that we want to do before like we really want to settle? And the idea of settling is just, I think, more of an older ideology, but for us, we like wanted to explore. And we got to the point where everything was awesome in Brooklyn, like in New York, and our work careers are great. But then there was just this like itch to try something else, and so we moved, and we went to LA for 6 months, and then ended up.
And you became gypsies.
Yeah, we are gypsies, definitely gypsies. We just knew that there's a lot out there, and the design, being a designer gives you that flexibility to honestly work anywhere, and we really wanted to take advantage of that. And there's so many beautiful things to see within America, and we took a road trip, and we just knew that, that whole process of moving to the West Coast would just only add to our creative spirit.
Yeah. We've got a link posted in here. It says "fuck yeah," so I have to click on it. And I believe this is a piece of your work that says, "My brushstrokes bring all the girls to the yard."
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's too many Titlecases or bourbon, but there's, it's so funny in lettering. You go to like Pinterest and you're just like, it's just filled with all these fun phrases or people tweaking these really these well-known cultural sayings. So it's just a really fun opportunity to flip things on its head. And who doesn't like some fancy script mixed in with a pop song, or like switching the lyrics of a popular pop song?
We just got a question in the chat room. I want to remind the audience that we do encourage questions. You can click the submit a question button and we'll bring it up. And even if you've got a webcam, we'll bring her on camera so you can ask your question directly. I highly encourage it. Totally worth it. Jillian Adele, we'll take that question right now. What does your wife do for work? It sounds like she's also artistically involved.
Yeah, I'm biased because she's my wife, but she is brilliant creative, and I'm more of the micro, so I'm looking at the most minute details that everyone overlooks. Not everyone overlooks, but most people like to overlook, where someone like herself, she's an art director, so she's all about the macro. She's like, all right, I got this idea, and then she pulls in all these amazing talented people to like create a campaign or a vision. So she's currently working at Gap. She's a senior art director there for their in-store marketing and a lot of their global marketing as well.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I would imagine decorating for holidays around your house is an entertaining event to see.
I think she gets so exhausted because, there's just so many rotation in the windows. Her mind is just, there. She's being presented with all these different ideas of how the windows should look. So I think by the time Christmas comes, she's like, this is whatever. Like, let's go to Christmas life. I just don't want to think about decorating.
It's like bringing your work home with you. No, I totally understand.
Yeah.
I deal with that myself. 2011, you were named a LetterCult Person of the Year. Did you cry at the ceremony?
Yes, I got a gold 24-karat bar of bullion and some Cristal champagne. It was an amazing acknowledgement. Like,
and then you made it rain.
Yes, and I mean, no, not at all. I'm really grateful, for being acknowledged as LetterCult Person of the Year in 2011, just because for me, when I was getting into lettering, that site was really like the mecca. There was really no other resource that you could go to. I mean, there are, but that's more contemporary and that's keeping up to date with all of like the current lettering artists around the globe. So, yeah, when I got that acknowledgement, I deep down inside you just want these things. I'm like, I really, really want this. And then when I found out, it was like, I think I was shocked, and I'd like check my phone. I was like, oh my God! And I never like flip out like that for whatever reason. Like it really, really meant a lot to me. And I'm humbled, but then it's also this like validation that all this hard work that I've been putting in to this to lettering and to this craft that it's worth it, and it's motivation for me to like just keep going and try harder.
I find it very interesting that you have focused so intently on the lettering, side of design, because the word design is such a broad topic anymore. It can be applied to so many different things, and I'm sure your skills apply, very well. I'm sure you could achieve great things because there's no way you get to that point in lettering itself without having the rest of this portfolio, right? So if someone came to you and said, oh, Erik, you're an idiot. Why did you focus just on lettering? There's so many more market opportunities out there, and the economy sucks. Why would you limit yourself like that? What would you say to them?
Well, I think all creatives have a varying sliding scale of OCD. And for me, it's a pretty, if you ask my wife, I have this thing that she calls the shiny object syndrome. So, like, if we're driving, if something catches my eye, I'm like, oh my God, look at that, stop, we gotta take a photo of it. And then, like, a second later, I'm like, oh, we're gonna cross the street, we gotta go and take a photo of that. So, I just feel that, when I was working in New York, I worked at Landor Associates with Aaron, Jason, and Dennis of Friends of Type. That's where we all met. But at that time, I was really focused on branding, and I was really focused on doing packaging. And I would go between the branding and identity side, and my head is always running. And then when I finally got to the place where I was just doing lettering, I finally felt like calm. Like when I'm working and doing that, there's sounds cliche, but maybe it's because I live in San Francisco that I get in this meditative state where I can really just spend hours and hours and just always be very satisfied with the fact that I'm doing it. Whereas when I was working in other design aspects of design, like branding and identity, like I always had an itch to do something else. And when I finally got to this point, I'm like, okay, let's do this.
So Erik, you're saying that lettering makes you feel like doing yoga.
Yes, correct. Or meditating. I don't know.
Or meditating.
I mean, looking at my body is an embarrassment. So yes, I do yoga now.
You're an Adonis, Erik Marinovich.
Yeah. Oh, there's a question.
Leah Finnegan wants to know, was there a specific time that clicked with you that you were going to do lettering from then on? When did you fall in love?
Oh my God. Honestly, it was Friends of Type. It was having a space to I mean, we all have our sketchbooks, but then once we had this like public forum, then I felt like it became this like quasi-official thing to me, where like I felt this responsibility to myself that, you know, I was so proud of what Aaron, Jason, and Dennis and I had created that they just clicked. I'm like, this is it. Like, yeah. But it's not to say when I see, you know, like an amazing package that there's this little bit of me that's like, oh, my next project I hope is a packaging one and I can redesign everything.
Thank you, Leah, for the question. Jillian Adele, I'm sure, sums it up perfectly when she says, "You don't choose the letters choose you."
That's totally going to be a post, Jillian, and we'll totally give you credit for that. I'm copying, or I'm writing it down because I'm not on my computer.
Do a screen cap. Do a screen cap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Screenshot. Hello. Technology. Yes.
There were.
Matthew Flickstar. I'm reading this question, but where can Matthew pick up this?
This is the question we were waiting for. How can we make money tonight? Friends of Type T-shirts. You can buy them where?
I feel like there's a little bit of Little Wayne in me right now. And so this Tuesday, or not this Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, we are launching the Friends of Type online store. It's been in the works for a really long time, and it's finally launching. We've got a handful of really great products, some of which have been posts that we've done in the past. We also have a print by Brent Couchman that we'll be selling, and again, one thing I want to stress is that everything that we put in the store, it's a limited run. So we do small editions of like 250 below. Most of the time it's around 100. Because I just like the idea to know that you buy something and then once it's sold out, it's just not going to get printed again. Because I'm always dissatisfied to know like, oh hey, like you buy a bottle of awesome bourbon, it's like limited edition, then you realize they made 80,000 bottles of it, and then you feel kind of small again. So, yeah. So this upcoming Tuesday.
This upcoming Tuesday, friendsoftype.com, the announcement you heard here, the exclusive on DesignChat, you'll be able to buy shit.
4 hours into this podcast, yes. We dropped the bomb.
That's strategic planning.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm holding up the phone to my face. It's kind of retarded. Sorry, guys.
Does this make you feel better?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm more official like I'm recording. I'm an idiot. Okay. So, what the hell? I have the worst memory in the world. I thought, well, all right, we'll take this. Gary Holmes wants to know, where can one purchase DesignChat threads? Well, the honest answer is you fucking can't right now. It'd be cool if you could. But here's the deal. Okay, so this leads me to the thing I just remembered. And that is that, and I'm going to hustle for a second here. Soon, in the near future, DesignChat's going to be selling advertising on the podcast. So you can buy a package and we'll say DesignChat's brought to you by so-and-so, and we'll have a web banner and all that good stuff. But what I've been doing in anticipation of that is I'll pick random or friends, businesses, business ventures, and I'll say DesignChat is brought to you by so-and-so. So when we publish this one, of course, Eric, DesignChat is going to be brought to you by the new Friends of Type store. And so what I'm thinking is you send me a little email with some copy I can read for the podcast, and we'll get that hooked up.
I gotta hold up more swag.
More swag. Ooh, look at that huge bag.
Yeah, it's a man bag. That's small, like, oh, I bought some celery. Here, I can fit it. It's like, it only fits my celery.
No, that's the biggest fucking purse I've ever seen.
Hey, Ryan, really quick, I saw that John wrote something, but I just want to give a shout out to John Passafume. That guy is an amazing lettering artist, overall designer, and just big, like, yeah. Wait, hold on, I can't, wait. There we go. I feel like everything's mirrored.
So wait a second. Time out.
Yeah.
I need to just hold this moment for a second. So Erik Marinovich and Jessica Hische just both gave dual thumbs up to John Passafume, who's in the chat room right now. I am now making a formal request. If he got the double thumbs up, will John be a guest on DesignChat?
He's probably drinking some Tecate right now.
He's probably drinking Tecate and he can't answer that question. He says in the chat room, "Dear Eric, you are my long-lost lettering brother, only with a much lower robotic voice. What is the over/under on you moving back to New York?" Well, that's, of course, after the Bounty and Boba Fett are no longer a threat.
I'm never throwing out the idea that I would move back to the West Coast. There's always an option on the table. It's just we got to make sure that it happens when our lease for Jessica and I's studio space, which is called Titlecase, is up, and then we both move back together and find a new studio to have the shares together.
Will it, when you get back to New York, will it still be called Titlecase?
Yeah, definitely. We've already schemed about it, but it's yeah. We like to tease the idea.
You've let the cat out of the bag here. Another exclusive on DesignChat. I'm very happy about this. We've got another question from Jillian Adele, who wants to know, have you ever made a typeface? If not, do you have an interest, or why not? So to clarify for those who might be confused, the difference between lettering and typeface is pretty big, actually. A lettering can be a one-off sort of project, but a typeface, there needs to be a whole lot of work that goes into a typeface. It takes weeks, months, years to truly develop a typeface. Eric, I'm guessing that you might have one in the bag, in the big-ass purse, ready for people to buy.
Oh, I might. But Ryan, no, your explanation was great. Yeah, lettering is illustration, and type design is just a beast. Like, I am so humbled, and I appreciate the work that type designers do, because it is a very skilled craft that takes a lot of time to master. And so any opportunity I have to meet an actual type designer, I'm like, shake their hand, and if I give them, no, you know what, I give them a hug, and I say, because of you, all of us have jobs, and you make us look so good because of the work that you produce. And I think everyone should high-five a type designer.
That's the quote of the night. Everyone should high-five a type designer.
Yeah, hug them.
Hug them.
Do something. You know what? Buy their typefaces. That's a better place to start.
Even better.
So this is another exclusive. I'm working on my first display typeface. It's called
Hermanos. I love it.
So, remember the part in Arrested Development when Michael Booth is trying to figure out who Hermano is?
I did not see that one, but I'm sure it was fantastic.
Yeah, that's the inspiration. But having a studio that is in Central Mission, and every day when I'm biking to work, I'm just so influenced by a lot of the sign-painted, like, fruit stand bodegas that are surrounding our office, that it just, it's been seeping into me since we've been in here, and it was only natural to create a typeface that totally paid homage to this neighborhood. So I'm currently working on that. And then also there's going to be a version called Gringo, which is a little bit less spicy. So I'm trying to find it in my book, but I will save that for another design chat interview.
So this another announcement, that means Erik will be back for another Design Chat interview on another day.
Yes, I will make sure that the troubleshooting, we will make sure that the audio is fine.
I just dropped a reference to his song. I don't know if any of you guys caught it. It's called Big Ass Person. It's by Reggie Watts. I just wrote that with my left hand. I'm very proud of that. I'm right-handed, by the way, so that's why it's important.
There's some nice DNA in those letters.
Thank you. Thank you.
You got something there.
We'll collab. We'll make that real.
Hey, oh wait, you're asking the questions. I just see that there's so many questions. Crazy.
Take over, Erik. Now it's Design Chat hosted by Erik. What question did you see?
Okay, this segment, it's not too bad. It's not safe. No, Rob asked, has anyone talked about Titlecase or the studio?
Have they?
Brian, would you like to answer this?
No, they have not, but they are about to.
Titlecase has started, it's a shared studio space that Jessica Hische and I have here.
Wait. Who's Jessica Hische? Never heard of her.
Oh, Jessica Hische, yes. She's a lady.
She's alright.
Has the talent of letters. That's her right there.
And she's wheel-bound.
So, we started this space, we moved in officially about a year ago, and we really have a fun time sharing the space together. I think we were very fortunate to both be, she's crazy. She's like wizard stuff. She's like Gondor, she's a high wizard of the lettering art. Or she's, what do you want to be called? Can you guys hear her?
No, she's muffled.
Come on, come closer. Wait, which? I'm so bad.
Wait, we gotta do like the airplane shoot.
Aw, that's so cute. You look like correspondents. Reporting here, Takanawa, live from Design Chat.
I think that we are co-Gandalf.
Co-Gandalf? Well, I think if you're gonna call yourself Gandalf, you need a staff.
Wait, question.
Yeah.
Was it the same actor that was Gandalf and Dumbledore? In which case, we can share that title. Where one of us could be.
Yeah.
I got more Dumbledore than Gandalf.
Yeah, I should know. Maybe. Oh boy. Maybe it's somebody in the chat room. Come on.
Dumbledore had a great robe and a hat, and Gandalf has the staff. So I think you guys need some props.
I feel like whichever one is more like masculine and badass is probably the one that Erik is, and then I'm the one that's more jolly. I believe to be Dumbledore. They're different actors, that's what someone says.
They're different? Oh, geez, I thought they were the same. Maybe I'm wrong.
There was something, never mind, you know what I'm thinking of? It was the same, he was also the Magneto, one of them.
Yeah.
That's what it
Magneto
was.
was Gondor.
Yeah.
Gondor.
Gandalf.
So anyways, this is Titlecase.
You can't see our sign right now because it's dark.
It's dark, but...
Oh, there's a sign outside? Jessica, it's great to see you again. For those of you who haven't seen it, Jessica has done a Design Chat before. I may be wrong, but I think it's around episode 61. This is going to be episode 116 or 117 or so. So you got to scroll back a little bit to see that one.
Is there anything like a daytime Emmy for these type of webcasts? Because there should be.
I think there are.
I just read Rob's comment. She wrote one is fat, the other is old.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just, that's good.
Like I said, my body is an embarrassment.
You're an Adonis, Eric. Drill it into your head, you're an Adonis. No, I think there are words and stuff like that. DesignChat is definitely sort of a niche thing, so I don't think it'll get widespread acclaim or anything like that. But I should mention, we did a chat with a gal named Samantha Warren from Twitter couple weeks ago, and that chat alone has already got over 170,000 views on its own. So there has been some momentum. A lot of people are starting to subscribe on iTunes. I think we've gotten featured a couple times. So there's some good stuff going on. As you can see, there's a new logo, Jessica. This is brand new.
Yeah.
All of this.
I like it. Very nice. You know what? I think probably the total people that listen to mine will be 27, and that 27th person will be my mother. So I'm very honored.
Isn't your mom listening like
She is, but I don't think she can figure out how to type in.
Will we have to do like a tech check-in with her and jump through some hoops so she can see it?
Yeah. Maybe I can merge the call and she can join us.
Yeah, if we can actually, you know what? If you can conference call your mother into this right now, I would be the happiest man alive.
We can get both of them on then.
Hold up.
So we could hear how wonderful you are from your own mother.
Yeah, I should hop off of this so that you should be on.
Bye, Jessica. Thank you for saying hi.
Everyone's saying bye. Hold on, you guys.
You know what's really great about the setup right now is that because of the way your desks are, there's this great perspective. Like it's one of those like, you know, the intro to perspective in your first drawing class where there's like the horizon, like it goes right.
I am here, honey. How did it go today? Or was it off tonight?
Actually, you were talking with Ryan, host of DesignChat, so you are speaking live to everybody.
For heaven's sake.
No joke, this is the coolest thing that's ever happened on the show.
For heaven's sake. Hello, Mrs. Marinovich. It's nice to meet you. My name's Ryan.
Hello, how are you?
I'm...
I love my mom's tone of voice just when we're like, oh my god, people are listening.
Oh my goodness.
This is the first on DesignChat, and I want to thank you for participating. We were just discussing the wonderful merits of your son, Erik.
Yes, he's a very talented young man, I must say.
Can you remember the very first thing that you ever saw him draw?
I have a lot of little sketches. Erik started drawing before he entered school, and he would doodle on any little piece of paper that I had laying around. So all my messages had little drawings on them, and I did save some, but you know, it was hard to make out what they were in those days.
Yeah.
But then he was always interested in art. Always.
Mom, you're making me blush live on this webcast.
What's...
Well, I used to tell my friends I could not keep a blank piece of paper in the house because if he saw it, he would just start.
I still do that. Actually, I still do this. This is a trait I still carry.
Yes, yeah, and I really knew from that point. Well, and as he grew up and I saw what he was drawing, that he really could draw just about anything. And then by the time he got into late elementary school and then into high school, once he finished his homework, he would go upstairs in his room, sit at his desk, and draw. And he would draw for hours till, time to go to bed.
That's why I failed all my other subjects.
No, you did not. Are you kidding?
Oh, Mom, you are amazing. I love you.
What's the most adorable or horrifying thing you ever saw him create?
Oh, hey Mom, remember that time in the yearbook where I put a naughty message in it and it got caught?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, I had forgotten about that. Yeah. And I can't even remember what the message was, but I remember you saying they caught it before.
I was in the yearbook club and I was in charge of doing like all the book cover and then all the spot illustrations inside. So there's this like huge space that was open for underneath all the freshman portraits. And the theme of that yearbook was like, I don't know, neon space and fun and came together. I don't know. It was all over the place. But anyways, I put this like planet, and inside I like sketched in it said freshman stuff, and I thought it was so cryptic that no one would caught it. And I was in my biology class.
I didn't hear you. It said what?
It said freshmen suck. And I got caught. And basically they brought my high school had a bouncer, and they brought him to my biology room, and I had to sit with the principal, and I almost, it was bad. It was really, really bad. Because it went to print, and they had to, yeah. Sorry, Mom.
You know, the other thing I remember that you did when you took photography class in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and this was so typical of him doing things. So he takes the photography class, and they select one of his pictures to be in this contest. And so, you know, we didn't really think anything of it, but we thought that was very nice that they had done that. And she won.
Guess how much I won? $50. And $50 in high school was huge.
Yeah, and it got framed and put in the Board of Supervisors for the high school district office.
Yeah. Awesome.
$50 in high school would buy you a brand new release Super Nintendo game, wouldn't it?
Oh.
Probably. Probably would have. Yeah, $40 or $50 a game. Yeah.
GoldenEye. I think that's what it's all about.
Now, where are you calling from?
Now you're getting interviewed by my mom, Ryan. This is amazing.
This is the best thing that's literally ever happened on Design Chat. Mrs. Marinovich, I'm calling from West Dundee, Illinois. We're broadcasting from an office called Symbolic, used to be called Samata Mason, and so that's just outside of Chicago.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. But
Yeah,
do
Mom.
you have any other question that you need to ask me?
No, but if they do, I will take this one offline. Well,
Mrs. Marinovich, I want to thank you for joining.
All I can say about Erik is he always amazed me what he could draw. From a cartoon character to a portrait of somebody that looks actually exactly like him. That's all right, Erik, but you got the best genes of all of us. That's it.
Oh, man. By the way, I'm paying my mom $100 for all these compliments.
No. Once in a while, moms have to toot their horns, so.
Oh, you're the best.
So, anyway.
I'm literally red on the screen.
You're about Pantone 256.
Yeah, I might be in 032, actually. Thanks, Mom.
Okay, so I guess I can hang up, huh?
Thank you, Mrs. Marinovich. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you, and good luck with your chat. Bye, Erik.
Thank you.
I will talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
My heart just melted. That was awesome.
I feel alive.
We've had a lot of firsts here tonight, and there's a lot of magic in the air. It's 9:34. We've been on for just over an hour. Leigh Finnegan in the chat room very aptly just mentioned this is a new feature for Design Chat, phone a friend / mom. I think we're gonna make this a weekly feature. I friggin' love how this turned out. You know, it's one of those things where like a mistake or something weird happens. This happened because we couldn't get our friggin' audio to work because of Adobe. And all of a sudden we get a phone call and we figured out, let's patch somebody in. So that was brilliant.
Wow, this has been an eye-opening webcast, I must say.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited that you were able to participate. I'm excited that Jessica was able to jump in. That was very cool. I think we should wrap it up now. We're at 9:35. We've been on for just over an hour. And you, obviously, you're very hungry. I can tell that you haven't. You said earlier you haven't. You need to keep up the Adonis physique and go eat your proteins.
That's I was going to hold the mic to my stomach, and I figured that would be another first for DesignChat, and I think that's a story that maybe I should say. That someone else future interviewer should cross. Not me this time.
I want to tell, before we wrap it up, I want to, a couple of announcements. I want to tell everybody, first, please tell all your friggin' friends about DesignChat, all your creative friends. I want to get people subscribing to this podcast on iTunes. There's a video and a simply audio feed. You can subscribe to either. Next week, on November 14th, we're going to be talking to Randy J. Hunt. He is the creative director at Etsy.com. That should be another interesting chat.
He's awesome.
He's awesome, says Eric. He gives a thumbs up of approval. There was, who were we talking to earlier, Eric, that you guys both gave the thumbs up to?
Oh, he was in the chat room. I'm not sure if he's still here anymore, but John has to be John, if I am pronouncing your last name wrong, like, trust me, everyone says mine wrong, so, like, we're in this together, brother. Like.
Well, I have to ask, have I been screwing up the whole time?
No, me? No, it's perfect. It's perfect.
I started to sweat. There was a bead of sweat.
No, you have, like, the old Croatian dialect, you know, like, Marinovich.
Marinovich.
Like yeah, Marinovich.
You got to do this, too.
Like, yeah. I can't tell you the names people called me in high school, but I'll just, yeah, you can ask my mom that offline as well.
Rhymes with fish.
Hey, really quick, Ryan, I just want to do a shout out to all the other people that are doing lettering, like my awesome student mate Jessica, Aaron Gramula, Jason Wong, Dennis Pyongyang, Contino, Anomaly, all this, everybody. Just, I'm very appreciative that this niche of creativity that is called lettering is such a supportive community, and that we all get better because everyone's so open with sharing and just being honest with their criticisms to help us, again, just keep pushing this art form that they call lettering. And yeah, high fives to everyone.
Big high fives. I couldn't echo the sentiment anymore. The ability to build niche communities and support each other and show our work is stronger than ever. So definitely props to that. Everybody follow Erik on Twitter. He's at Erik Marinovich. He's got erikmarinovich.com. He's got friendsoftype.com.
It's not showing up on my screen. What the hell?
What's not showing up?
I wanted to be like American Idol. It's like, oh, American Idol 01, and they're like.
If you'd like to vote for Erik, dial 1-800-LETTERING-001.
Yeah. Can you build that into a DesignChat feature where it just pops up? Like.
Actually, you laugh, but I do every week when I edit the podcast. Like, I do the lower third shit. I totally do.
Can you do it like where it's a magical wipe where it's like.
Do that one more time. Do it again, and I will make that happen by your hand.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Done. And it's, you know what it's gonna say? It's gonna say, "Fuck yes."
Wait, hold on, where is it? There it is. This has been an emotional ride, and I thank you, Ryan, for your time, and everyone else for being patient while the technical difficulty or troubleshooting got figured out.
Yeah, screw technology. We're always going to figure out how to do this stuff. So thank you again, Erik, for doing this. We're going to wrap it up. Good night, everybody. Throw up your Twitter names in the chat room. Everybody follow everybody. Use the DesignChat hashtag. And we will talk to you next week when we're talking to Randy J. Hunt on November 14th. Join us live for that. Good night, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Hello, hi, how are you? You look good in person and on webcam. Hello. Yeah, maybe I'll try something else. Hold on.
It's sort of now it's like totally loud. How about you just hit refresh? Sorry, guys. We're having some issues.
Yeah, like this. How about this?
It's
Still
still
not good.
refresh and then
Oh man. Sorry everyone.
yeah, we're recording it, so at the very least we'll release. How cool! Could you guys do me a favor and like sing some Daft Punk lyrics?
I don't actually know any Daft Punk lyrics.
One of you. Oh,
Hello.
I hear you. Is that Jessica? It's still doing it, man.
Wait.
Hi.
Wait, please tell me my audio works.
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
Wait.